The same way that you could be a glutton for food, we could do the same thing with information. And we live in an age where information is at a prolific rate. It's ridiculous. And not all information is worthwhile. In fact, I was just reading a book, here I go, reading a book on how to read books by Ralph Waldo Emerson. It's called First We Read, Then We Write. And he was one of the most prolific writers in American history. And he read more books than anybody. But he made it very clear that we got to turn more books away than we read. He says that the worst thing that you could do is to continue reading a book that is not going to serve you in a deliberate way. Content consumption, whether it's reading or watching videos, is the same sort of thing. He says there's 3 kinds of readers, right? And mind you, this is being deliberate about your consumption. He says you could be a sponge, and a sponge, you don't want to be a sponge, because what does a sponge do? A sponge soaks everything up, but then when you squeeze it, it lets it all back out, but it was just dirtier and nastier. So these are people who like kind of halfway understand stuff. Like they get enough information just to be dangerous. So you're getting like dirty information from dirty sources, and then you're dirtying it up yourself. And then if you're a producer, because it's the only reason to consume, it's just getting dirty and dirty because like you're just misunderstanding. So I'm not saying you, but he says that that's the tendency if you're going to be a sponge. He said the next is a jelly bag. A jelly bag, you could just imagine, is like if you ever seen like a baker when he's like squeezing all that stuff out onto the cake, that big bag, right? That's a jelly bag. That's what I imagine a jelly bag is, because the way Ralph Waldo Emerson describes it is that what you take in, right? You know, the bag absorbs it, you spit right back out. And these are people who are regurgitators, and they do not create anything. They just regurgitate, and they spit back things exactly as they got them. And that's being basically a waste. You know why? Because we have recorders. We don't need you to record and spit back what you heard, right? We don't need that. He says, though, the best way to be a reader, and I'm proposing this as in terms of your content consumption, is to be a Golconda. And a Golconda is like a big sieve that they would take out, you know, during the gold rush, and they would dip it in the river, and they would sift it so that all the sediment would fall out, and just the gold pieces would be on top. So you're sifting for gold. What kind of gold are you sifting for, and for what purpose? Right? Is it for entertainment or is it for production? Why are you consuming it? You got to ask yourself that. And your reason doesn't have to be my reason. I don't have to value your reason, but it's got to be a good enough reason for your consumption.
Porn. 68% of church-going men watch it secretly, hiding this vice from their wife. For other men, it's alcohol or drug use. Are you willing to risk your marriage, family, and finances for sinful pleasures and vice? Or are you ready to fight back? If you're a married Christian businessman or entrepreneur, caught in the clutches of drinking, drugs, or jerking off, realize that every moment spent in these vices is literally destroying your life. Is this the man God called you to be? To live like this? If you're ready to go to war against vice and take your life back, here's my advice. Click the link in this video or visit waronvice.com to book a call with me to see if we're a good fit for going into battle together. I'll see you on the inside.